Hey up YouTube, what's going on? AmazingChi bringing you the Week 9 battle from Season 3 of the PPL Division 2. I know it's 5 months late. If you haven't checked out my update video from a couple of days back, do check that out now. The battle that went up yesterday, as I mentioned in the update video, was actually recorded 5 months ago. But I never got it edited just because I really just got really annoyed with the I just really got annoyed essentially with the way I was editing battles, the layout and all that jazz. And I kind of got bored with Pokemon as a whole around that time. The actual PPL battles, I was still full steam ahead because I was in the promotion race. I can't, if I'm completely honest, if I wasn't in the promotion race, I probably wouldn't have cared as much. But because I still had everything to play for, I still put everything I had into these battles. That was pretty much the only thing I had was doing 100% at this point in terms of Pokemon was these battles. I didn't really care about anything else to do with Pokemon at that point. And I didn't really even care enough to do the editing because I just got fed up with my layout, really, to be honest. I do have a new layout for Season 4. I really enjoy the new layout for Season 4, so that is definitely not going to happen this season, but plus it's new gen, everything's all exciting and shiny and fresh and new. So, new season, very much hyped for, that's coming up very soon, which is kind of the main impetus for getting these videos. It was kind of, you've got Season 4 to thank for these videos even existing again, pretty much, because I am that hyped for Season 4 that it's overcoming my sort of hatred for my Season 3 layout. So, yeah. Anyway, Week 9 was against RTK and the Portland Timburrs. RTK couldn't make the battle, so he got a stand-in for him, which is in the form of Bill Standish, or I should say Bill Standin, I guess. But the team they brought, I don't know who made it, but the team they brought was Vaporeon, Salamence, Hitmontop, Emboar, Mega Gardevoir, and Thunderous Eye. Now, the other 3 Mons on his roster were Clamperl, Estelgor, and then there's a Hippowdon. Now there's a trade on his list which said Roserade and Rhyperior for Hippowdon. I genuinely cannot remember if he made that trade before or after my battle. So it was either Roserade and Rhyperior or Hippowdon for the last slots on his team there. But anyway, it didn't matter. Didn't bring any of them anyway. But might explain a few things that happened about. I don't know. Can't remember if you ever see any coverage for any of those mons that didn't come. But like I said, the team he did bring was Vaporeon, Salamence, Hitmontop, Emboar, Mega Gardevoir, Thunderous Eye. It's a Mega Gardevoir. I brought Mega Blastoise, Noivern, Bronzong, Galvantula, Mamoswine, and Aromatisse. I'll try and explain the team I brought as best as I can. Bear in mind it is 5 months ago, and I did delete all my Gen 6 teams from Showdown about a month ago because I'm an idiot. But Mega Blastoise, I believe, was just fat offensive. Flash Cannon, Scald, Ice Beam, Toxic for the Vaporeon and Hippowdon, and just generally wearing things down, really, I guess, because he didn't have a Steel type, so whatever he switches in gets Toxic, so provided it hits, of course. Same reason as well with the lack of Steel type is my Specs Noivern, because as soon as Mega Gardevoir's out of the way, nothing's taking Specs Draco Meteor, but even before Mega Gardevoir, nothing's taking Specs Boom Burst. Nothing really wants to switch into Specs Boom. Like Vaporeon can take, I think, 2 Specs Boom Bursts. Can't take 2 Specs well, you can just take 2 Specs Draco Meteors with the special attack drop, but just if it's specially defensive. So that's the only thing. That's the only thing that kind of can switch on a Specs Draco is the Vaporeon, but it doesn't really. It might not be able to take 2 depending on which way it's set up. Bronzong was heat-proof to surprise the Emboar, with Zen Headbutt, Rock Slides on there as well for the flying type Mons on his team, and of course the Selgor as well, but that didn't come. And then I can only shoot Rocks and something else. Galvantula was Volt Switch Thunder. I want to say Volt Switch Thunder, Giga Drain, and HB Ice with Expert Belt, maybe something like that. I'm not 100% certain on the item on it. I know it's not line 4. I think anyway. But yeah, it's no webs on that for a reason that will become more apparent later on. Then I have the Scarf Mamoswine, Earthquake, Icicle Crash, knockoff, probably, or it could be Ironhead. Probably knockoff actually. Probably stuck with a knockoff. I think I took off Ironhead for Ice Shard because if Mence sets up, I still need something to hit the Mence. So Ice Shard is my way of doing that, even on a Scarf Mamoswine. So there's that. And then we have the Life Orb Trick Room Aromatisse. This is why I didn't bring the webs, of course, because then they work against me when I'm using the Trick Room Aromatisse, because his team was actually fairly fast. He had nothing really dirt slow, so it might have been before the Hippowdon was traded in actually then. But if he had a Roserade, I don't know why he wouldn't have brought it against my team. So I'm not 100% certain. But if Hippowdon would have been the only slow thing if he had a Hippowdon at that point. And then Hippowdon's easily handled by... I can't remember if Aromatisse gets an Energy Ball or not. I'm not sure if it's the same as Florges in that regard. I know it doesn't get one of the coverage things that Florges gets. And it might be the Energy Ball that it doesn't get. But if not, it was Life Orb Trick Room with Wish, with Moonblast, and then either Thunderbolt or Energy Ball. I know it gets at least one of those. So it would have been Thunderbolt or Energy Ball for the last move on it. And, ow. And, sorry. And, yeah, that's it. So, looking at his team right there, I kind of predicted him for me to think I was going to be leading with Galvantula. Because you look at my team, you see the sort of the two more defensive things, the Bronzongli Aromatisse and Mamoswine there. Like, Noivern's is my only really fast thing, so I was kind of predicting him for me to be using Webs turn 1. So I kind of predicted him to go for the M-Ball straight off, which is why I led with my Mega Blastoise. Now, we see how this pans out. I can't remember what I was predicting on his team, to be honest, what he was going to bring, so I can't say if I got the predictions right or not. But there's my Mega Blastoise. There is, and he sends out I'm Lost, which is Thunderous. You'll might have to explain the nicknames to me at some point, but I stay in. I know I can take one. I know I can take any one electric move from this thing. If it wants to Volt Switch out, then yeah, whatever. But he actually goes for the sub. I use the Ice Beam, of course. But there's the sub. I go for Ice Beam. I'm just staying in on this. This is probably one of my favourite openings to any battle ever. Just spoilers in advance. But he goes for the sub. I stay in. The balls. I don't know what happened that day. I just kind of had the most ballsiest opening I've ever done. He gets to sub again. I stay in again and go for Ice Beam. I'm not letting this thing sub up on me. And at the range he's at right now, if he goes for an attacking move, if he doesn't have Volt Switch, if he goes for an attacking move right now, he dies to an Ice Beam. So I actually win this now if he stays in. Which he doesn't. And that kind of shows he doesn't have Volt Switch either, the fact he just hard switches out. So I stayed in. I didn't want to over predict. Go straight for the just go straight for the Ice Beam. It does negligible to Vaporeon, and then he gets the leftovers back anyway. So it gets about 90%, 95%. I just go for the Toxic here. That's what the Toxic was for, because he might switch out, which he does. So I figured I might as well get the Toxic on the Vaporeon. That would give residual later on. If he doesn't have Heal Bell, well, that's unfortunate for him. But if he does, then okay, you might be able to get that back off later on. But as he is, he baton passes, so that Toxic is definitely doing one turn no matter what happens, pretty much. And he Megas up. He predicts the switch into Bronzong with the Shadow Ball. Nope. Staying in again. I have the Flash Cannon for this. So that does just over half. I think that was a vaguely low mid-ish roll, so I was happy to go for it again. He predicts I stay in this time. I survived just. I know I can survive it. I did calc it. And I go for Flash Cannon, and there goes Mega Gardevoir. So Mega Blastoise at this point has sort of done, inadvertently, 40% to the Thunderous, the Toxic, the Vaporeon, and got rid of the Mega Gardevoir entirely. And getting rid of the Mega Gardevoir was the biggest thing, because now there's nothing that takes on Noivern. Nothing that switches in on a Draco Meteor. So I stay in here just because in case the thing is Scarf, then it gets locked into a move. It did outspeed me, so I was thinking maybe it's Scarf at this point, but it could just have Space Prep me because it is within that range. Like, it's 61, I think it's 61 for Ember or 65. Frisk it, find out his safety goggles, so I know it's not Scarfed. And that is one of the most crucial pieces of information I could have gotten from this entire battle. Because Scarf Ember, knowing that it's not Scarf Ember, is crucially important for things like Galvantula, for things like Noivern. Knowing it's not Scarf is fantastic, because it means I know I outspeed this. As I said, there's no switching to Specs Draco anymore. I think it has just enough to take one now. I can't quite remember why I switched, because I think I could have killed it here. I'm not certain if the range it was at. But he actually does this baton pass out, which was, you know, okay, fair enough. I think he might have been able to die here, but I'm not 100%. But he brings in the Embor here. I know this isn't Scarf anymore, so I'm fine to take the Volt Switch and just do damage on this. And that damage is very, very important as well later on. But get the Volt Switch, go straight back into this. I know I can take Fighting move, I know I can take the Fire move. Find out safety goggles again, not important that time around. But more safety goggles for the Amoongas, obviously, which I didn't bring this week. I take a Flare Blitz. I actually take a Flare Blitz fairly well, which is surprising. But takes the recoil, he's down to half now. I'm down to half, but nothing's... The range that Vaporeon is at, nothing's taking Boom Burst now. So, I'm fine to click that, because if I lock myself into Draco, then I'm -2 on whatever comes in, and then I have to switch out regardless. But probably, depending on what comes in. If that came in, then that would be silly. But Boom Burst, okay. Not taking this out with a Boom Burst. I get to go into this. You get Click Dragon Claw. I get a free switch in. And now I've got absolutely no reason not to click Trick Room, because I will underspeed his entire team, including this thing. Yeah, Trick Room gets set up. There's nothing he can do about it. I now get a free Moonblast on this, or whatever switches in. I get a free Moonblast on this, as it turns out. And there goes Embor. So, the Gardero's gone, Embor's gone. It's looking pretty good right now. Vaporeon is Toxic, and this thing is at 60-ish% health. 60-65-ish. And now he gets this... And obviously Prankster still exists, so Prankster Substitute still exists. So, he gets to stall out one turn. There. So this will be turn 2, 3, I suppose, of... Yeah, that'll be end of turn 3 of Trick Room. So this is turn 4, Trick Room, and that sub just takes him out of range of doing another one. So the earlier exchange, the fact I managed to get 2 subs off, like waste 2 of his subs, and with Blastoise earlier on, was absolutely crucial for this bit right now. Because even with the leftover recovery, he's just under being able to make a 3rd sub, which means I get this Moonblast off, and I can kill this thing. Which was absolutely crucial. So that early exchange with Blastoise and this thing put him in range of just 2 more subs. He couldn't do a 5th one, which was fantastic. He goes for Earthquake. I actually make a mistake. If I click Trick Room right here, I win. My brain just went completely mental here, and I forgot Trick Room was a psychic move. So I just clicked the normal. I clicked the normal move on my thing, and the normal move was Wish. Like, damn. Okay, well at least I got a free switch into this thing next turn, because obviously I died to another Earthquake with the Aromatisse, so now I can't stay in with Aromatisse, so I bring this thing in, threaten it out. But I am somewhat. I'm not sure if it matters entirely too much, but I use the Icicle Crash here, obviously, because there was immense in front of me at 0-0, so there's no reason not to do it. I do get a crit here, so I crit through the Intimidate, basically. I need to kind of remember how the end of this match plays out before I can tell you if that actually matters or not. But I get to bring in Bronzong here, because obviously I figured Fighting move was coming. Bronzong here, that does actually still a fair amount of damage, but Bronzong's here, he's not taking another one, it's fine. He definitely dies to a Zen Headbutt now. So maybe the crit kind of put him out of range for the Zen Headbutt, I can't quite remember, so it does influence his play here, which is going back in to Mets. And Zen Headbutt, and I miss. I have the worst luck in PPL with Zen Headbutt. I don't think I've actually ever hit a Zen Headbutt in PPL. I might have hit one with Bronzong earlier in the season, actually, probably. But I do have the worst luck. And he says Dragonlance here. And this is scary now, because I've missed a Zen Headbutt. Now, obviously, the combination of Zen Headbutt and... yeah, so I get a bit of damage off with Rock Slide. That's the most damage I could have done to it. So that gets it to about 60%. Which is fine, that's in range of... that's in range of Ice Shard now. But He calls my bluff on heat proof right now and goes in the earthquake. I think he calls my. I can't remember if he calls my bluff or predicted the switch. I can't quite remember now. But predicted me just to sap something off. Like I think he predicted me to go into Aromatisse actually. I think that's why he went for the earthquake. I seem to remember. But he reveals he's Yachi Berry, and this is scary now because that Zen headbutt miss is cancelled out by that crit. I think there might have been still a chance to kill. I can't quite remember the roll on that, but that's down. With the Intimidate, I was kind of. I don't think that killed from this range, because obviously I was locked into Ice Shard at that point. I don't think he knew I was locked into Ice Shard, just because there was no speed thingy where that mattered ever. No sort of matchup. I don't know why I went for the Toxic there, to be honest, but yeah, I don't think he knew I was Scarf Mammothswine at that point, because obviously I had Ice Shard. He didn't know I was Scarf Mammothswine, so he didn't know why I switched there. But obviously if I went for Ice Shard, I wouldn't have killed this thing. And now we're just going to finish it off in style with Dracomedia. And can I just say, I love how certain mons look in Dracomedia, like this, like Ape on top. With the chaos going around, I'm still dancing side to side. Like, this is fine. But yeah, we pick up the win. I believe that was a 4-0. I still had Noivern. Yeah, I still had Noivern, Garantula, Mammothswine, and Aromatisse at the end. So it was a 4-0 win, which was fantastic. Really helped with our differential. I think that finally got us into positive differential, in fact. Because I think we were -3 going into this week. So this would have put us with at 6 and 3 on the wins. And then +1. That's how weird our season. That's how weird our season 3 was. The fact that we were 3 wins up at this point and still only +1. So we kept getting. If I remember, we kept getting sort of narrow wins and then big losses, fairly big losses. So this was like the biggest win of the season, I think, so far, the 4-0. So that was kind of fun. It was great fun as well. And yeah, that's basically that battle. The week following this was against Yofizz and the I can't remember his team. Is it Atlanta? I want to say Atlanta Braveries, but no, it's not. It's AH, isn't it? I'll quickly just check. Sorry. It's AH. It's not Atlanta Braveries at all. God damn it. Sorry. I'm going to check right now. It's gone completely out of my head, really. I should know. But AH in my mind is Juan's team. It's Amityville Haunters. But it's not that. Because that's Juan and that's not Fizz. God damn it, what is it? Atlanta Horluchas, that's the one. I knew it was Atlanta. So there we go. So yeah, we faced Fizz, who has a really scary team. Actually, who had a really scary team. He had like all the weather. So because he had Excadrill Tyranitar. So we had the Tyranitar for that. He had Politoed for the rain as well. He did have Altaria at one point. He did have Altaria at one point in the season, which, you know, could get rid of the weather. But which was kind of fun. So he had all the weather control. But yeah, he has the option for rain. He has the option for sand, and a bunch of other scary things in between that. So week 10 was against the Atlanta Horluchas and Yofizz. So yeah, that battle will be coming at some point. I don't know when or where, but probably more towards the weekend. But for now, that's a weeknight battle done and uploaded, and you guys get to see it at last. So there we go. Looking forward to season 4 coming up. We've still got 2 more matches to do with season 3. But I hope you're hyped for all the PPL content coming up very, very soon. I know I am, which is why this video even exists right now. Because I probably would have just left it if I wasn't this hyped for PPL right now. So oh yeah, quick before I go, you may have noticed I am now. One advantage of doing this video 5 months later is I now get to advertise this again. The shirts. Every PPL manager has a shirt on Teespring right now. A few past managers have their shirts up as well, I think. So do check out the website. And if you are a fan of the PPL or all that jazz, you can now buy our shirts. You can get them on phone cases. You can get the logos on notepads. I know I bought a notepad as well for all PPL related content coming up. Helps me take my notes a little bit better. So I know I bought a notepad with the Newcrustle United logo as well. Got my shirt. There's hoodies, there's tank tops, there's like I said, phone cases, mugs, all that kind of jazz. So do check that out. The link will be down below, along with RTK's and Bill's links. So do check them out as well before you sign off this video. But for now, I've been AmazingChi, you've been amazing too. I'll see you again very soon for the Week 10 battle. But for now, ta-ra.